Now. Shit.
Oh, 30 pages of this.
Okay, now it's your last one. I have about 10 minutes. I can't even climb across the table because apparently that's poor connection. I'm gonna go pee now.
Shut. Wait, hold up.
How you doing?
Not bad. I thought I lost my phone. It turns out it's in my bag. Silly me.
Oh no. No, I was still waving at you. I signed up. Is Jay coming?
We pay a deposit for and every stuff you buy because you didn't finish it. So what, you're using people money and then suddenly you feel like you should be the one responsible. And then
You could.
accidentally.
Why do you have bin liners? What do you have bin liners?
No, next is not the
Trash bags to carry my personality.
committee of this kind.
But seriously though, jokes aside, why?
So the tomato incident with tomato and crumb incident with Vanessa doesn't happen again.
So now you're gonna put bin liners on every single dustbin.
Yes.
Nice! That is something that you should have done a long time ago.
That's the ELO we know. This is why we hired you.
It might be black sheep.
I'm already. I wanted to hear.
I wanted to hear, but again, I didn't want to brain someone. Who the hell? A lot of people. We have important
Hello em.
Em 3 ôn. Then if I didn't pass the requirement, then we attempt to redo the bond.
Non-Muslim members who hasn't filled up your names yet?
Me.
Hey, I actually write down my names right now.
I haven't filled up my name yet.
So we have to fill up.
Apparently, for some reason. Mind if I take a look? Oh no, never mind. I don't want to. No, I just wanted to just look at what was going on.
So what?
I just wanted to look at what was going on.
Let's it out. My God.
The chair.
So So they are working right.
I can't make this
Samsung have it like long time ago. Oh, you mean the YouTube split screen? Oh.
Terence, is it all good to go?
Give me 5 minutes.
Trial run.
Trial run okay lah, Terence.
Why was the trial run not done earlier?
Wait, hold your horses. I just came from Monkara.
He's stressed. He's stressed. He's stressed.
Blah, blah, blah. Let's go.
Okay.
Guys, good? Okay, good evening everyone. Thanks for all for coming today. We just carry on with our fourth MSC. Third MSC. My bad. I'm still including the MSC. Third MSC. And I'll just pass the floor to Tash to continue with the proxy letters.
Acceptance of apology and proxy letters. Ricky is unable to attend today's meeting as he has chair rehearsal from 6 to 8 for his chair showcase. He grants his voting right to Desmond from School of Engineering. He has submitted his apology and proxy letters on 19th March. Sean is unable to attend today's meeting as he will be organising dry run for Musa Wars that will be held tomorrow. He grants his voting right to Clarence from School of Business. He has submitted his apology and proxy letters on 19th March. Dil is unable to attend today's meeting as she will be organising dry run for Musa Wars that will be held tomorrow. She has submitted her apology letter on 19th March. Ryan is unable to attend today's meeting as he has a family function to attend at 5 p.m. He has submitted his apology letter on 19th March. Rebecca is unable to attend today's meeting as she will be in Johor from 18th March to 28th March for her compulsory clinical rural placement. She grants her voting right to Esther Ong from School of Medicine and Health Sciences. She has submitted her apology and proxy letters on 18th March. Ryan, Kaiser and Ashley is unable to attend today's meeting as they will be representing Monash University Malaysia as a student delegate in the Australian ASEAN Education Dialogue taking place in Penang from 21st to 23rd March. They will be deemed absent without apology as 3 of them have submitted their apology and proxy letters on 20th March and Ashley on 21st March, which is past the deadline. So I have rejected the letters. Yeah. So motion 1, acceptance of apology and proxy letters, accepted by. No one wants to accept.
Oi.
Seconded by. Motion 2, acceptance of second MSC meeting minutes, accepted by.
Nobody's gonna fight with you here.
No.
Seconded by Terence. Okay, next will be President's report.
Okay, in regards to Alliance, I had a meeting with both Taylor's and Sunway's president on the 5th of March. It was a Monday. We met up at Taylor's University and we had a discussion. So, as we were talking, a lot of issues were brought up by them, and the few of them mainly being commitment, liability, benefits to each campus, and timeline. Commitment being the main reason why the previous Alliance failed was because students couldn't commit to Alliance, because commitment is the biggest issue when it comes to Alliance. In terms of liability, let's say if Alliance is formed, which university's management will be liable if something goes south? So that's what they mean by in terms of liability. Benefits to each campus. When something is done through Alliance, it has to benefit all 3 campuses. So to come up with an issue, because the whole point of this Alliance is not to have events and activities, to look more into the students' welfare and Sunway itself. So to come to a conclusion where it benefits all 3 campuses is quite hard to find one. And also timeline. In terms of student council, Monash's one, Musa runs from 1st January to December. For Sunway, it runs from May to the following May. And for Taylor's, it runs from October to the next October. So all the different timeline also contributes to the issues to why Alliance is still struggling to be brought up. Next, Taylor's president is really not too keen to doing his Alliance yet because he says there's a lot of issues that he faces on campus and his student council has to resolve those issues before he can create a new committee to take care of other issues. Next, Sunway's president, he's willing to hear negotiate to how alliance is going to be, but then he still wants to hear more. But the problem I can see with the other two, not to say problem, but the main issue is that when it comes to this alliance and forming this new alliance, I feel like only I'm giving the 100% and going, actually setting up the meeting, talking to them, like wanting to bring up the idea. But Sunway and Taylor's president are not even keen into it. They're just there to nitpick all the problems, and they're not really giving solutions to solve the problems either. So let's say commitment is a big issue as well. So I'll meet up with them again soon to talk about the issues that we raised up, and we'll see how it goes from there. Next, for Musa rewards, a discussion was held with MEC about 2 weeks ago. We discussed, because MEC has its own card, MEC card, which they sell every semester, if I'm not wrong, or every year. And we thought of collab, because Musa rewards is in line with what also MEC does, where the card, you can use like a reward system, you get discounts in many places. So that's what we want to have a collab with them, but then they came and told us, let's do a collab where if students get the Musa rewards, they have to also become a MEC member. So that held up the negotiations with them, because I don't want to force the students to become an MEC member just to sell the cards to them. The whole purpose of the cards is to benefit the students, for all the students, without forcing them into something else. And I've talked to Caulfield's president, Monsu Caulfield's president, where I actually adopted the idea from. He told me that how they did it there was because they had a company that was dealing with all, was going around getting partnership and dealing with all the different retail brands and retail brands. So he just went through the company and got to do it. So I'm looking to Faith, which is also previously known as Groupon. So I've sent them an email, haven't got a response yet. Send them an email and try to see whether we can move on with that. And because Faith, they have a lot of deals with a lot of different companies throughout Malaysia, so there'll be a good platform for us to start. And I also heard that they're also looking for students, like more students to join, to get know of them or something like that. So yeah, I've contacted Faith, and hopefully they'll collaborate with us for this Musa rewards. Excuse me. Next, the Musa feedback form. The Musa feedback form is already been posted on the Facebook page. Please, everyone, please share it, like it, send it to all your respective groups in Facebook, because the whole point of the feedback form is so that students have an official platform to complain and give out their concerns, suggestions of what's not. So what I'll do is that once the feedback comes in, at the start of every month, I'll collect them, sort them out, and look into them and try to hopefully resolve them. And also, if there were certain feedbacks and responses that were brought up was such like about summer units and everything. So if in regards to a specific department, I was thinking of just outsourcing it to a certain department. Let's say there was for School of Science, if I'm not wrong, something about a unit in School of Science. So if that kind of issues come, I'll just outsource it to School of Science to handle it, so that they can talk to a CMO more easily than me, and they can solve it. So status update will be done monthly at the end of every month. So I'll collect it at the start of every month and then post an update at the end of every month. Next, for printing quotas, if y'all still don't know yet, for the printing quota, if you ever run out of printing credit for your department, you can go to Zepa and top it up. But this doesn't mean you can abuse it. Please use it wisely. If you use too much of it, it will not be top up by Zepa. And last but not least, Musa Week. So there was Musa Forum last year. So this year we decided to have almost like a Musa Week, which is almost similar like Musa Info Week, but that's was done for only during election. But this time we're trying to do it this semester as well. So for Musa Week, we'll get Musa members to go to the ground and talk to students and get to basically engage with students, because that's what we want. We want students the barrier between student association and student to be broken down, and we want there to be proper engagement between students. So this it will be held on week 7, 16th of April to 19th of April, which is Monday to Thursday, and we will have Musa Forum on the next day, which is Friday. So booths will be set up at the foyer for Musa Week, and Musa members, please, there will be a Google Sheet. Just take 1 hour of your time a day to just to help out in the booth, just go there, talk to students, engage with them, get to know their problems. Let's say welfare department who's not here, if they have any students have issues with welfare department can answer them there. Let's say they have any issues regarding class society, they can just straight away they can ask you any inquiries and you can straight away answer them. That kind of sorts, and for all the other departments. So please fill in a suitable time slot in our Excel sheet, and please at least fill 4 slots in the week. That's about it. Any questions?
I have a question. About alliance, right? What is the outcome you hope to achieve by forming an alliance between the 3 universities?
That's a very good question. Then that's one question that I still can't answer myself, because when you form alliance, it has many directions you can take. That's why when I go for meeting alliance, I make sure that the other 2 presidents also come in hand and also give me an idea. But then that's not happening, because alliance, you can go for either events, activities to take care of the welfare of students through Sunway. It's dynamic. You can do a lot. So to have an end goal is a very bigger picture for me even right now. So I'm just trying my best to think about it, and any suggestions will be welcome as well.
So because if you want to host events, right, my question would be, will we be committing funding from Nusa's budget towards these events?
It will be a collab between if you were telling if there's an event through alliance. Yes, but then the budget will be let's say you're talking about contribution wise, right? Yes. So the money, I've already allocated some money for alliance under my department. So that means if there's a need for me to contribute money, I'll contribute. So Sunway will contribute in ways they can, and so tailors.
So in the event that alliance does not pull through, what will these funds be used for?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer to that question, because it's almost my hope for now is that alliance will pull through, because I'm trying hard, and it's a little bit I can say a little bit annoying because the commitment from the 2 other presidents are not as equal as mine. But I'm trying my best. When the time comes that I can make a decision that alliance won't pull through, then I'll definitely tell you guys what I'll do with the money. Any questions?
Motion 3, acceptance of President's report, accepted by
He's the only one.
seconded by. Okay, next will be my report. Before I start my report, I forgot to mention that Leanne is unable to attend today's meeting as she has high fever. She just informed me just now in the afternoon. Hi. So I have accepted her letters because the reason was beyond her control. So today we will only have 22 votes in total, as CNS and VPs won't have votes from their department. Alright, so my report by election was held officially on 26 February, Monday week 1, and ended officially on 12 March 2018, Monday week 3. The timeline is this: nomination period 26 February to 2nd March, a week; campaigning period 5th March to 8th March. Initially supposed to be until 9 March, but the university was closed down on 9 March, so it stopped at 8. Polling period 7 to 8, and declaration of results is on 12 March, Monday. The committee returning officer is me, myself. Assistant returning officer is Lishini. Poll clerk is Kristen and Yiling. Vote counters Kajan and Shailu. Positions contested: MUIS Secretary 1 position, MUIS Treasurer 1 position, MUIS ISO Activities 1, Publicity 1, and Editors 2 position. This is the result. Taswir has been elected as MUIS Secretary with 20 votes, and Pranay is MUIS Treasurer 21 votes, Haider is MUIS ISO Publicity 20 votes, and Ibrahim MUIS ISO Activities 20 votes. So total number of votes was 25, and this is the percentage per total number of votes. All the candidates won uncontested. Nominations were not received for MUIS ISO editors positions, so the positions will be left empty. The final report of Nusa by-election was submitted by the ARO on 13th March, and it has been approved by me on the same day. Questions? Motion for acceptance of General Secretary's report, accepted by Jay, seconded by Desmond. Next will be treasurer's report.
Hi guys. Okay, so a little overview. Basically, the report is going to be like a brief on the auditing that had taken place. The auditing started on the 5th of March. It was organized, but it wasn't conducted by me. Okay. And it was concluded on the 15th of March. The report was submitted to Tash. All the records were fair and truthful. Suggestions were made to improve the financial record system within Musa, and the report was signed off by the 4 official auditors. Yeah, that's okay. So here's the auditing report. Just take a look if you guys want. Yeah, any questions about the audit? Anything you guys want to know? No. Okay.
Okay, motion 5, MSC to accept the audited report of Musa 2017 actual expenses to be presented during Musa Annual General Meeting 2018 for...
I wasn't listening, sorry.
Guys, emotion, guys.
Guys, it's a motion.
Oh,
it's a motion. Please put your hands up.
sorry, question.
Oh, yes.
Can you just roughly summarize what happened during the audit?
Yeah, sure. Sorry. Okay, so basically what happened was we overlooked the records of 2017, all the files that were kept in here. It contained records of all the fund movement, every event, every bit of expenditure that occurred from the term that Musa 2017 began and ended on the 31st of December, with the inclusion of some of the expenses that stretched on to this year as well, that were only approved in the early January. So the auditors went through the records and compared it with the financial report that was prepared by Brendan and Michelle last year, and they checked. The process was just checking to see if all the relevant documentation was in there, like if they had requested for a particular amount for this event, whether the relevant receipts, invoices, all the documentation was there, and no money went unaccounted for. So everything was spot on record. Any other questions?
Sure.
Okay.
Motion 5, MSC to accept the audited report of Musa 2017 actual expenses to be presented during Musa AGM 2018 for... Against? Abstain? Guys, please vote properly, guys. Please. Thank you. For...
Hands up high. Yeah.
Abstain? Motion is carried. Wait. Motion 6, acceptance of treasurer's report accepted by...
Sharik.
Seconded by...
Darius. Only one I care for.
Thanks, guys.
Next
Oh,
will
shit.
be heads of CNS report.
Alright, let's start with the values first. Clubs are getting penalized, clubs are getting warning letters. Science Club is getting one and Buddhist Society is getting one because they signed the attendance sheet for the AGM, but for some reason they didn't go in. Mufas is getting one because they used pamphlets without approval from the CNS publicity officers. They claimed either the rules were changed without their knowledge or we did not understand the rules. The first statement was false because they were at the AGM and we told them what was going on. And we're just not going to deal with the second statement, because if they want to say we don't understand our own rules, then I have nothing to say. So overall, due to stricter rules and regulations, there has been a lot more disciplinary action this semester, including some more which we can probably update you for the next MSC. The clubs aren't exactly happy because they're getting punished, and their obvious excuse is we never followed the rules last year. So we're like, okay, yes, but follow them this year, please. So they're not happy, but it's something to stay. Okay, so the Monash Cup. The AGM was scheduled to be last week, but it's been postponed next week because the ex-committee they said they did not get enough notice, so they can't really prepare to start recruiting. But the recruitment of players will still remain on schedule on the 6th of April. We'll probably go on for a week depending on the feedback we get. And the trainings will start from week 6, which is a lot earlier than last year, because last year it started in like 7/2 or something. Alright, the MBBS booth, it was being applied for when we were writing the report. This is a special CNS X MBBS booth for recruitment of MBBS students for the recruitment into clubs, because they missed out the CNS week in week 2. And the progress report, well, we'll just wait for the week to be over. RBS issues and clashes with Musa. Alright. This has been a sensitive issue for a while because the RBS, once again, as you've heard from last MSC, is still causing problems. The most recent issue was engineering buddy night that clashed with tennis, table tennis and dodgeball practice. But the buddy night EMR went in first, but somehow didn't show up on the system, so 2 people booked on the same time. Could you just scroll? Yeah. The table tennis training was displaced to the lounge thanks to Sean, and dodgeball was cancelled for the 2nd time after clashing with the futsal tournament earlier that week. Alright, very interesting picture I'd like to draw your attention to for 1 second. So what happened was Yoga Club booked badminton court on Tuesday, the 13th of March. School of Business had already booked for the SOB Mingle night on that day. But I know for a fact that Zupeng cancelled, but it didn't show up on the RBS system. But somehow, even on the RBS system, it said it was booked, but students were still free to book. And the whole mess resulted in yoga with these people. They were legit. Of course, these are not exactly the people, but they were dressed exactly this way, and there was kendo stick fighting while yoga was going on one end of the. A little piece of information that I didn't add. Let them have fun. Little piece of information I forgot to add is like yoga was happening here. There were these guys here, and then there was table tennis in a very small corner in the badminton court. So there was like 3 different bookings of the same place. And if you've seen these people walking around in the parking area, that's because we had to displace them. We were discussing about the RBS system, and Mr. Zeba and Tosh both agreed that we need viewing permissions. That's already working on. And this is a little important. Musa departments, like all of you, are requested very kindly to give us at least a week's notice if you are going to book a venue, because to displace clubs training, we need to give them a long enough notice. We can't expect like 30 to 40 people to just move on 2 days' notice. So we just ask you, if you use the regional booking facilities, just let us know beforehand before you decide to displace any clubs, so we can move them for you. Oh yeah, one more thing I'd like to add, which is not in the business report, but I'm still going to add anyway because everyone should know. CNS is projected to be broke by April? Probably before we start preparing for Monash Cup, we're going to be broke. So if we come asking you for money later this year, no one has money, everyone is broke, but this is just a forewarning. Yeah, that's it. Wow.
No, I have a question though.
Same.
The thing is, like, what happens if we have an event, and because clubs can book prior, right, and they can book recursively.
Yeah.
What happens if we want to have an event and we can't book the facility because it's been booked? So who should we go to when it comes to that little issue?
Okay, so by right, Musa level events can have the ability to supersede club events. So if you are booking, if your EMR says Musa on it, it's already going to displace the club events.
Is it though? Because like submitted an EMR for Glow Up, and to book some facilities that have already been booked, I have no idea who to go to because it's already been booked on the screen, so I can't like click on that slot.
In that case, it has to be FMD.
So I have to go back to FMB to do it.
Yes, you kind of have to let us know, and we'll cancel the club. And sorry.
Go to the FMD, get, if it's a club, you come to them and then you tell them.
No, actually, I just want to clarify on Glow Up. I think the reason why you can't.
No, it's actually not yours though. It's other clubs.
Yeah, it's Mamet's.
Everything was Mohammed's?
No, because they submitted the EMR by them, but I was the one who booked the event for them. So that's why you can't override it.
So yeah, that's two Musa level events already.
Because like it was because I wasn't at first I was looking for badminton courts, right?
Yeah.
But then afterwards I was looking at the other venues, the other side, and I think Ashley said that it was under club, so I was like, oh no.
It would be a club event if the clubs have booked it, but if medicine reps have booked it, then it's a clash because both of them are now Musa level. So there's nothing we can do about it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Why are you broke?
Because right, so we're broke because Monash Cup itself is going to cost somewhere around 90k, and I have my treasure sitting right there. The project and okay, a little bit of a sensitive issue. VPs have declined to give as much funding as they were for club activities and club events that they were supposed to. So we're gonna have to take more of that on. Plus Monash Cup is coming up, which is a large chunk of our budget. That's like 1/3 of our budget already. And given with the additional responsibilities we're going to have to adopt from VPs as well, our projection is we're gonna be broke very soon.
So, where are you going to get the additional funding for this?
We're working on it, we'll let you know.
Will you touch the fixed subsidies for each club?
Most likely not. That is a club's right, and we're not going to encroach on that. Right, there were other questions. Yeah.
I just want to ask because right now you said that the RCB system it's not really work. Yeah,
RBS,
sorry.
yeah.
RBS. It's not really working, right? Because I've been around and there've been a number of clubs where they said, oh, we're gonna be from this time to this time, but then like 2 weeks later they find out, no, we can't do that anymore. Someone else has made a reservation, and even just yesterday I went with Dance to the badminton, but then I don't know what happened. Like the other club was still there, even though they said that they got it booked.
Okay, quick question.
Yeah.
Which dance?
Dance Fusion.
Oh, MDFC. Yesterday, we had actually given prior notice to the club for that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because yesterday was SAS night, right? Yeah, it was SAS night. So yesterday, we're not really sure. I'm not quite certain as to which other clubs you're referring to, because the only other incident that happened was floorball, and that was a miscommunication on our parts combined with an RBS mess up. But any other clubs, I don't know.
Sure if it was yesterday. I believe it was table tennis and badminton from like 8 to 9. So I think this was after SAS night. So I just. Yeah.
Is Josh here? Yeah. Josh? How long did you book the venues for SAS night? Until what time?
From 7 to 10.
So yeah, there you have the answer.
Badminton quarter. Okay. Well, that's not what I'm trying to ask. I want to ask is, what about right now?
Mm-hmm.
Do we still keep using the RBS system? And what say we want to book some venues, but we want to do it ethically and we don't want to displace any clubs.
First, to answer your first part of the question, yes, you still use the RBS system because that's the only system we have. The second is, if you want to do it ethically, I would recommend you try very hard to pick a time where there are no clubs.
That's the problem.
Yeah, but if you do want to have an event and the club's taking it up, you're gonna have to displace the club.
No choice. Just gonna displace clubs.
There are only 24 hours in the day. Anyone else? I just want to sit down, please. No? We're good? Okay, thanks.
Motion 7, acceptance of heads of clubs and societies report, accepted by
Jay.
Jay, seconded by
Chichi.
Next will be women's officers report.
No, she raised her hand first. It was going to be Terrace otherwise. Ashley doesn't have bars. Since she's not here, I thought I would mix things up a bit.
By the way, sorry my question was so long.
Ah, it's fine. Fine. I'm used to it then.
Okay guys, it's going to be just one event and then few announcements and then we'll be done. Okay, so our first event was International Women's Day. Our theme was cyber harassment for this year. And the purpose was basically to, because cyber harassment is not seen as a serious issue, and hate speech and blackmail is very common these days, so we picked that as our theme of the event. And the event took place on 8th March. Okay, so these were the details of the event. So we had a booth set up on with 3 sets of comic strips. Basically, it explained like we had blackmail and we had hate speech and we had cyber stalking, and we had a lot of comics and also a narrative speech right in the center. People, they also pledged against cyber harassment during the event, and they received like brownies as like a return gift sort. And between 12 to 1 we had video pledges as well. So after that, people who did video pledges, they received like It's On Us badge from us. And okay, yeah, this is how the booth looked like after the event. And yeah, that was the video pledges that we did. And also, yes, we had a collaboration with MSDS, Monastery Dance Society, and they did a flash mob in the Piazza area. Yeah, that area. They did a flash mob over there around 12:45. And our outcome was we received around 200 plus posts with empowering messages, and also we received around 70 plus video pledges, and also a special shout out to all Musa members for helping us out with all the last minute preparations, editors for the camera, for arranging all the stuff, and yes, all that. Yeah, we're done with the event stuff. A few announcements.
Just a reminder, this Sunday is the gender sensitivity training, and the location has been changed to 6306 instead. So it's not going to be at the badminton court. Registration starts at 10:45, so please be on time so that we can start the event on time and also end it on time. Because the trainers will be here. Yeah, because the trainers will be here by 10:45 and we don't want them waiting.
Yeah, where did you get the brownies from?
Oh, it's Mr. and Mrs. Brownies. It's in Kajang.
Thank you.
They have a Facebook page.
Yeah, they have a Facebook page.
Are you guys planning on uploading the video?
It's already on there.
Yeah, it's on
small
page. Yeah.
Motion 8, acceptance of women's officers report accepted by. Seconded by.
Nicholas.
Hey, can you repeat? Must be what time? 10:40. Next will be editor's report.
So we just want to give we just want to give you an update on what's going on with Instagram, which is, if you remember, is our new initiative. So what we have is pretty good. Why don't you?
Okay, so basically we've been like playing around by uploading at random times of the day to get a better picture as to what time of the day students are actually engaging with us. So we found out that they actually are more interactive during the weekends, especially in the afternoons. And last Saturday at 12:30 in the morning, we hit 200 followers. So it is growing, and the fact that is actually growing more exponentially because of the fact people are now increasingly aware of our Instagram platform, and people are like tagging their friends in it, and then that just draw a lot more followers. So we are seeing an average of between 5 to 10 followers a day, and our Instagram profile has been viewed 8,000 times, which is quite astonishing in like even though it's just 4 weeks. And we also found out that uploading during later parts of the day, like such as in the evening, when people are at home at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the evening, people actually have time to actually look on social media, which includes our Instagram profile, and that is when people actually are interacting with us a lot more. Yeah, so Facebook. Now, when it comes to Facebook, people actually are more interactive with us and actually more approaching us, especially when it comes to videos. So with that in mind, before that, Orientation Bash is 2018's most viewed video on our Musa Monga Facebook page. So partially due to the fact that Musa Activities Department has organized a very successful OB. So salute for that. And next one second is CNS video.
Nice, okay,
sorry.
Also,
another point to note is that on Facebook we are seeing an average of 1,400 users who are visiting our site daily. Yeah, so I think these are the followers who have been following us since last year.
Yep. Okay, so second of all, we have this thematic month. So if you have seen this like really chaotic looking poster around, that we've been trying to promote our thematic month, which is what we've been doing, I believe, for a while now. And the response has been unfortunately a little bit low, so we're still trying to find ways. So in terms of if any department has ways to publicize activities better, because we actually give quite a nice price actually. It's like 100 ringgit voucher of any of your choice. So, but we have had some interesting submissions here and there, including like one makeup tutorial. Like this chick literally created like a whole naked tutorials, recreated the whole look. Insane. But yeah, so if you guys still want, it's actually ending tomorrow, so if you guys still want to, get on that Sephora voucher, you can still do it now. But yeah, school recs, we're also kind of urging you guys to kind of help us promote the posts from here and there, just to get the thing out there.
Okay, remember the point that I highlighted that students are actually visiting our site a lot more frequently when they are publishing video uploads. So on that note, after spending considerable amount of time, the editors have agreed that we are going to be relaxing our regulations, whereby initially we only provide video coverage for Musa level events, but upon discussion with Desmond, Lingji, and Elizabeth, we have agreed that right now we are also going to be covering school events as well as collaborative events. So, which also includes like concerts, large-scale university events. The primary reason for this change is because that right now we have enough manpower to actually cover a lot more different aspects of the student experience. Back then, there was only me and Alvin, so yeah, that's why we have to impose such strict regulations. But right now, given that we have 5 videographers in the Monga, so we are now giving the opportunity for the schools as well as other clubs and societies, if they have any concerts or any large events which would like us to shoot for video, they can now come to us and request.
Yeah. So that's all the nice stuff we have to tell you.
Bad news coming.
So now comes the thing that we kind of ask everyone here. So earlier last week we discovered that we actually have a problem with our budget, which is that we actually do not have enough money for Monga. So as you can see here, this is the breakdown. We actually allocated only 27k because that was what was projected last year, and there was nothing wrong with the report. Like they didn't have any insufficient funds or anything. But only last week we realized that what they did was they actually moved their funds around within their budget. But the problem with us is that we do not have the liberty to do that because we are literally just spending with we have a lot of equipment that we need to spend on and whatnot. So we realized that we actually do need money. So what we have done is that we try to pinch here and there. So we managed to try, hopefully we can get 3.4k just by ourselves, by whatever that we can accumulate. but we need another 1.6K from the rest of you just to help us out. And the thing is that we are only printing 800 copies for like how many thousands of students. And we also have plans to actually increase the number of pages. But the thing is that, we do not want to cut all of this down, because otherwise it wouldn't look good for us, especially when you cut down the number of copies and people see that the ratio just doesn't add up. Yeah, so it will be really, really, really helpful and really, really nice of all of you if you can actually just give us, just a little bit of whatever that you have, just so that we can, at least reach our 800 copies lah. Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, of course, if you want to know like why we're needing this, you need further clarification, kind of abuse us verbally before you give us money. That's great for us.
Yeah, if you have any
feel
questions,
free to ask away.
Why and what not before you even pledge your money to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to ask now. Yeah.
Come. Look like you have a question, Hassan.
The phones are ready.
No, we're just discussing.
Anyone really?
No, I think they need some time to think about this. Yeah, Caroline.
You mentioned that you guys want to add more pages to Manga, right? Do you know exactly what sections you want to improve on, or exactly what those pages will be?
Yeah, so the thing about us is that we actually have a few initiatives. Like within our department itself, for photography we have a few stuff, and then for writers we have a few stuff as well. So like all of these things we want to at least have a little bit of something inside. Yeah, so hopefully by adding the number of pages we can have all of this.
Because now breaking down the options, we actually have boiled down to a couple of options. It's either we maintain the same number of pages, but decrease the number of copies we put out, or decrease the number of pages and somewhat scrape by with 800 copies, or kind of lower down both. So it's kind of like, it's a bit hard for us to answer right now because there's so many factors that we can't answer to find that one thing. So if there's anything you can help us out, even with not even monetary in terms of consultancy, we are able to accept that as well.
I have a question. Are you guys spending more than what you did last year? Has there been a need to increase expenditure?
Okay, so what we discovered is that there's actually a difference. So we do not know why, but for both semesters last year it was 144 pages and 800 copies. But the amount for it was very different in the sense that for first semester it was 13K plus minus, and then for the second semester it was 15K. So we do not know why there is such a discrepancy, and we are actually having this is like including of inflation, because we really don't know what, to a certain extent, what is the price now, including GST and So it's not that we are spending more than what we need. We are literally spending what we
Everything
have.
We have.
Everything we have.
Are you,
legit that. Yeah.
Were you referring to our whole entire department as a whole, or the budget for manga publication specifically?
The budget as a whole.
Budget as a whole. We have been spending a bit more in terms of investing in this place where we bought new equipment.
Yeah, but all of that is within our budget.
Yep.
Yeah, it's already allocated in the budget.
So you guys need to take a look at our budget breakdown even before you want to take a look. I mean, we're definitely,
Yeah.
I just want to ask, what is this 5,000 ringgit? Where did this exact value come from? Is it? Do you want to add extra pages? What kind of inflation? Where does value come from?
Okay, so we are calculating 18 to 20 ringgit per book. So I can actually bring the figures for you if you want. So but the rough is roughly 20 ringgit per book times 800 copies, I think. Yeah, and I think that adds up to 16,000 if somebody can check that.
So are you making more? Do you want to make more copies, or do you just want to?
800.
So same number of copies, same number of pages.
That's the idea, but
because at this point we
That's literally the minimum. This is literally the minimum. If we want to add more pages, we actually need more than 1.6K from all of you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Printing is not cheap, guys. In case you know that.
You know, yeah.
Print is dead and it costs a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Printing cost is getting more expensive.
Oh boy.
Students.
Okay, so the idea is that if you charge students, right, how many of us here will actually pay for it? Because you're already paying.
That will actually cover up your costs.
That will definitely open up a whole different. Okay, here's the phenomenon. I'm just bringing up another question to help us understand the situation better. Manga, a lot of times where even we have been giving out free, I think even when we have been, so this is a question to help us answer a lot more things. When we give out manga last year, everyone's like, oh yeah, take. They check the whole thing. They realize that photos are not there, and then they check it aside. So this is a phenomenon that is already happening. So this can help just to pick your mind. I mean, moving on from there, how do we know how many how do we know how many copies we should be doing? How do we know whether we should sustain, we should keep more, or even charging them for it, for instance? So something to kind of bring up to the floor. Yeah, anything to add on?
Yeah, because like the thing is that like what Lindy said already, students do not want to come and get their copies if we do a pre-order, and then somehow you want to charge them for it on top of they already feel that whatever that is being done in Musa is already entitled to them because of the amount of just the size of the fees that paying itself. Yeah.
So I guess at this point I think we could also ask them. Let's say if we don't get the funds we need, what should we go on from there? Should we decrease the amount of copies? Should we, kind of play around with the options? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Any other question? Can I just put it out there? It's okay if you don't want to give us anything.
We're not gonna key your cars.
Give me a moment, let me figure out something.
It's a motion now.
Yeah. Postpone to the next one.
That will be. Yeah, we kind of want to see the finances first. We want to see it.
Definitely. But thanks for giving us a thought. Actually, that would be really appreciate that.
We're all financially broke. Let's just put it that way.
I'll get back to you. I cannot give full, but I might be able to give some.
Yeah, just go with whatever you're comfortable with.
You guys need this money because we're having our MCN, and if we have some extra, we might.
Yeah,
just might.
Of course. We'll just make use of whatever figures we have and go on from there. It's just now that we have this issue brought up, if you guys are willing to kind of help us out, that would be great.
I think now probably best if I abstain.
Yeah, of course.
Until I see the rest.
We can definitely postpone this discussion over.
It's kind of big, yeah.
Okay guys, is anyone giving them the money now? As in like transferring the fund now? Is anyone? No? Okay, so if that's the case, this motion is lost in this MSC and it will be postponed to the next one, which will be held in week 8, not too sure. April, week 7 or 8, MSC for MSC. And if they really want the money before that, then it will have to be run through email motion. Alright, so whatever is it has to go through me first. So don't go to them and transfer the money and then don't tell me and then no one knows about it. It's a secret thing. Please don't do that. Okay? Alright?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I'm not giving money right now. Just a suggestion, okay? So if the amount looks a lot to many, then how about each department gives a small amount, maybe 100 per department. It's just a suggestion, so that we can think about till the next meeting.
Because we know budget's really tight for a lot of departments, and we just want to know whatever you're. I hear you. So we want you to go ahead with whatever you're comfortable with, and if you're really running on a tight budget, we definitely understand. It's just that now there's an issue up, and then we like to bring it out and see if anyone's willing to help us out.
Sorry, y'all be helping.
Can y'all give CNS some money too?
Sorry?
We're all broke, and let's just put it that way.
Just make a list of what departments need money.
Wait.
No worry, take your time.
We're all poverty stricken.
Story about life, man.
What? I might, but I need to look first and see.
No, but
I just don't know how much I need.
It's okay, you don't
That's
have
fine,
to
just take your
decide
time.
You don't have to decide now. Something you can
decide
consider over. Yeah.
But then would you be able to sort it out before the 8th?
we can sort out the
Before
first
the next
semester.
MSC.
Because we already have 27K ma. So
okay.
we can sort out the first semester first. It's just the second semester because I know a lot of events are actually happening in Sem 2. Yeah, so that's our concern that we don't, there's not enough of it to come out. But it's okay, that's why we will just do Sem 1 first because by the time the next MSC we actually need to send for print already. Yeah.
This is only for the printing, right? This funding.
Is only monthly.
So the editing and the coverage is still fine, right?
We are editing and we are
Yeah,
we are doing it for free.
We are doing the design, we are covering.
We're not gonna like cover less of your events out of spite just because you give us the name. That's a good idea, but we're not gonna do that.
Just checking.
No, yeah. So yes, it's something to think about. I guess we can definitely move on to the next agenda.
Okay, so the motion is lost.
Cries.
Alright, any questions? No? Okay, motion 10, acceptance of editor's report accepted by?
Hassan. We'll be expecting money from both.
You're almost done.
Seconded by?
J.
Thank you.
Stop that.
Next is School of Arts and Social Sciences report.
Good one. You try. You try. Not yet. Cool. Who's gonna give you money? You should wait for that.
Hey guys.
What's up?
Yeah, she's doing the
Wisely!
So basically we have a feedback book a few weeks ago. Yeah. And basically what we do is we ask feedback from art students. We try our best to, ask the art students to come and write feedback. That's the thing we post at the back. And one feedback is for one Milo. Basically after 3 days or 4 days we are dead, so we opens the booth for every other school. And then anyone who gives us feedback, we appreciate it, and we also still give the Milos. For the most feedback we got is 3 things. First is movie night. That's why we are doing movie night for first and second sem. The other one is for hoodie and merchandise, mostly hoodies for exclusive School of Arts. I don't know whether we have the budget for that, so if you guys wanna donate,
Here we go again.
I don't know, guys.
Here we go again. Let's go.
Every MSC is just begging for money.
Anyway, and the third feedback is collaboration with other school, which we are planning to do next sem. Basically, that's all. Any question? Any question? Publicity. We use Facebook, our arts Facebook page, and we posted 3 times. Yeah, which is kind of sad. Oh, okay. It's encouraging. Basically, the only thing that we got from this is Zeba asked us that mostly other reps to also have this kind of thing and ask your students. Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
Can I just put it out there that you can email publicity to get us to post it on the Musa Facebook page? There's there is more engagement, I guess. You can email us, we can help you post it. If you want, we can make it a sponsored advertisement.
For future events.
Future, if you need the help.
No?
Motion 11, acceptance of School of Arts and Social Sciences representatives report accepted by?
I want to give it to Terrence.
Can you do it again?
Accepted by?
Oh, dang. One more time.
Hey!
Okay. J.
Hey! Seconded by?
Okay, Terrence.
Yes!
Sorry, guys.
Next is SOB's report.
Stop.
That's basically us asking for money. We sob first and then we cry for help.
Save our souls.
That's essentially us asking for money.
Yeah, hi everyone. So this one is not available at the moment, so I will just recall first one. First of all, we are going to talk about small business for science Finland due to water disruption. Campus closing down that day, so School of Science approached us and collaborate Finland together. And it was held at Monday, 12th of March. We booked the sports center in the field, and with 5 station games. A bit messy in front of the event, but at the end it ends well. We also this is the participants and yeah. This is the grand prize winner, and we also got called Modash Music Club for the performance. I think the photo is there. Yeah, here. This is their committee member, and we also at the end we also provide foods and walkout gelato. Yeah. Yeah. I think
That was good gelato.
Yeah, so just wanted to thank the music club and also the treasurers for being so supportive, even though we sent in like very late. Yeah. And also School of Science, of course.
Yeah,
for collaborating
science.
with us and being open to new
Without School of Science, we can't do this. Okay, then. Second, we are going to talk about our SSLC committee meeting, which is happened yesterday. Parents also at there, which is our year 3 reps up. And yep, increasing number of student representatives. This one, the committee will get back to us soon. Not sure yet. Blasting out email to inform students about SSLC. I think I can tell Push about it before, which is we already approached Mr. Zeba about it, and he is okay to help us blast out. But provided that he checked the content of the email and is it suitable to blast out to the student population. And so, side note is we think that Musa actually should have our own student email list to blast out to students to let them know about the important issues such as SSLCs or the Google form that like Push are going to push for the complaint form to let students know that it really is a platform, not by using Facebook, because nowadays we receive many feedback from the students that they are not using Facebook anymore. Then we asked them what they are using. They said they're using Snapchat, Instagram, which is not really appropriate to do this kind of things also. So at the end of them, still email. Although email, many people argue that email, too many email one day, but it's still a formal platform, and students have the obligation to check the email. So if yes, there are many students didn't read the email, but there is still student reading the email. That's what I mean. Workshop for no subject. I think whoever study business law should know the pen that we don't know how to find the case law, but Dr. Anand also agree with it to do something like that. I think the school inside also. Feedback on the lecturers. I don't know, is it our school encountered this issue or not, but from School of Business they said from now on onwards, SSLC is not a platform to talk about related units anymore. It's just talk about overall courses. So I don't know other schools whether facing the same issues or not. And Terence, is it the same? Is it the thing I'm saying? Is it the right thing? Overall, it's an overall issue, right?
Yes, it's an overall issue.
Overall issue and the overall policy matters, right?
That's right.
Not about the related units, is it? Okay. But the objective is, yeah, our SSLC committee said that SSLC from now on onward is only talk about overall issue, overall cost issue, and overall policy issue.
Okay, let me clarify what he's trying to say here. So basically, SSLC for School of Business has somewhat has turned into something that it shouldn't have been. I.e., it is a place, it's turning into a place where students are complaining about on a units basis rather than the cost basis, essentially. Basically, SSLC is a platform for students to give input, suggestions, and ideas as to how to make the course learning experience better and more engaging. But instead, it has becoming into a platform or environment where students are using it to criticize and attack lecturers. So with that in mind, the SSLC of this year have decided that we are not going to be acknowledging unit complaints, that especially those that is specifically attacking lecturers. So right now, they are following some of a similar stance to Australia, whereby they're going to be using SSLC as it should be.
Then how would students give feedback on the units itself?
That's the issue that we are pondering on, because actually I read if we refer back to the objective, STATS is a platform that to talk about related units, facilities and the course facilities. So we are going to clarify with the head of school on the coming Monday and see what is really SSLC.
And I think the purpose of SSLC is staff, student, and staff includes all lecturers, tutors as well. So you cannot say that liaison committee only includes the entire course, the entire feedback of just the course, but it should be inclusive of the individual units as well. So I think that should be the
Don't we already have SETU for the specific units though?
That's what they are. That's what they said. But we are going to clarify with the head of school soon, so we know.
Because you must understand the participation rate of SETU.
True.
Because how School of IT did it is that we literally force ourselves to go to every lecture, give out survey to everyone, and then ask them to write down. I think that's how it should be.
For school of business, we also try to do that, but if we want to do that, we need to bring around 300 folks to give out the whole lecture. It's a bit tough. We see how it goes first.
Just to add on that, I mean, although SETU is a good way to kind of perhaps criticize that, constructively kind of comment on the unit itself, but it only happens by the time we finish the whole unit. So there should be ways, I mean, and it's also commenting on the course itself. It's like the only way we can objectively comment on the course is to get into the units itself.
Yes.
So that's definitely something to work on.
That's
because I feel like now the problem lies more with students who are using SSLC as a platform to maliciously attack. But I guess, I don't think it should be a problem for them to give comments on the units.
So we'll bring out the head of school and see how it goes. Feedback on course structure, nothing can be done from CMO side. Ongoing events. Moving on. Ongoing events. We are doing SOP teacher competition. But if you are in our group, you will find out that we take out the posters because CMO, the education office approached us and said to
incorporate
the 17 UN sustainable goals, and they will provide funding for the competition. So we are altering the terms and conditions, everything, and force up soon. So this one is not.
Was the original poster, but we'll be changing that and adding in the new info and the new guidelines for the page.
I'd just like to ask, how is the participation rate when it comes to feature designs? Are there usually a lot of submissions coming in, or still little?
Based on history, it depends. Sometimes a lot. Sometimes some people just set it for the friendly, just for fun, that kind of thing.
But since the prizes will be increased because we're taking the sponsorships, we're hoping that more entries will be coming in. And so far, because we took it down, so no entries yet. Hopefully, we just fingers crossed.
Just to add on to that, just to answer your question a little better. Last year we had the School of Science t-shirt design competition, and our audience is a lot smaller, but we had 13 to 15 designs submitted by students. So that's, if they're motivated, that's what you're looking at essentially.
When it comes to t-shirt design, is it only that school that can apply to design? Or also anyone who uses
So if you have idea, you can send it to us. Okay, so moving on, SOP and SOP Skytrack trip. We managed to get 40 participants, and registration fee is 25 ringgit. And the event will be 31st March and Saturday. That's all. Any question? Okay.
Motion 12, acceptance of School of Business Representatives Report accepted by seconded by
Thank you.
Sorry. You literally hit zooming to get
I want to quit SSLC now.
Next
School of Engineering report.
I hurt my arm. From what? Raised too fast.
Hi guys, so Ricky is not here today. I just talked about the Buddy night last Thursday. Yeah, it was from 6 to 9:30 PM at the badminton court. We also booked the futsal court and field. Yeah, but we didn't use the field because we thought it was gonna rain, but it didn't. Yeah. Then this is the picture.
Where's Sean in the picture? I tried seeing.
He was not there in the picture.
Okay, no questions?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I just want to ask, because School of Engineering is known for having, like, hosting a lot of events, and it's also known for being quite competitive. Like, my friends are always like, oh my god, the phone's open. And then I get said, oh, it's closed 2 minutes later. 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Yeah. And because of that, because some people like kind of exploit it a little bit, and because of that, it's like the same people going, like every single time. So I just want to ask, like, what can we do about this?
I don't know. This is our first event, and then basically everyone who paid the visit also attended.
To be
We didn't restrict the number of participants for this event.
May I add a point here? It's not the same. I know where you're coming from. Like the fact that the same people are coming for the same, like, for all the events in School of Engineering. I get that. But the thing is that the school, the rest have done an incredible job to promote the event. So they have given everybody in School of Engineering an equal opportunity to participate in the event. So it's just that maybe they're just like not quick enough on the mouse, or the fact they are not aware of it. Which is why the same people are actually like participating in all these events. So essentially, I don't think there's any way to rectify that, because the rest have treated all students in their department equally. So I'm just saying.
So basically, there's nothing we can do.
I mean, it's a fair chance.
You can get to the link faster, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
That just tests your bandwidth.
I guess get a better internet connection.
That means don't use Malaysian internet.
And if you live at the SMR, forget it.
Motion 13, acceptance of School of Engineering Representatives Report, accepted by
Jay.
What is this?
You know, when people look back on this and they're like, why is this fella like always?
Yeah, they're gonna know I was on my game today.
seconded by Terrence.
Yes!
You're sitting in the corner, so everyone just feels guilty about leaving you out. And they're like, oh shit, maybe he raced faster, I didn't see him, let's just give it to Jay.
If it was once or twice, but every single time.
You kid zooping!
I wanted him to notice me.
Senpai.
Raymond.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hello, Raymond.
So we had our first event of the year, which is T-shirt designing competition. It was held for a period of 1 week. We opened online submissions from 5th of March to 11th of March. And our target was actually 15, and the response was quite good. We had the last reminder like 1 day before, and it kind of boosted the responses. So we got 14 designs, and the designs were actually all really nice, but we have to shortlist like 5 of them. It was chosen by our subcoms, so we had like 12 people, so we just shortlist the top 5 designs. And we had our voting period from 13 March to 16 March, which was open to all pharmacy students. We promoted on our Facebook page. And the winning design was actually Milton's design. Okay. This is our poster for our design. Okay, this is nothing. Okay, show the design. Okay. This is Milton's design. He won the most votes, so Milton walked away with 100 ringgit Burger Lab vouchers. Total worth of 100 ringgit Burger Lab vouchers. So thank you, Milton.
Stands for prescription.
So this is the winning design, but we are currently working on different choices of colors so that we can let students choose what kind of color should they want.
Okay, next would be the subcommittee recruitment. So this year we have a total of 16 applicants and we held our interviews over 3 days. And then we select 10 of the applicants. Yeah, so the whole process was smooth.
Yeah, this is the ongoing event with School of Business, Skytrack. It will be held on 31st March and we had our booth opened. It was actually for a week. We wanted to open it for a week, but we closed it on the second day because all the slots were sold out. So yeah, it was good.
And one more thing I want to add on, it's not stated here, is regarding our SSLC because we submitted our report last week, but SSLC was held yesterday. So our SSLC is a bit different from business SSLC because ours one we can talk about specific units. Because for pharmacy it's a bit different, we only have one intake and all the students that taking the unit will be taking the same units. All the students that taking in their year will be taking the same units. Yeah. So basically we have our class reps and the class rep will basically tell SSLC what's the student's issue. Yeah, and for this time the SSLC not much of student welfare issue. It's basically more on academic issues, and I already personally approached the chair and get the issue addressed to specific lecturers. Yeah.
That's all. Any questions?
Motion 14, acceptance of School of Pharmacy Representatives Report accepted by...
Actually, I sound to be...
Oh my god! Hey, you got a student? Oh my god! No! Try again, Jane, try again.
Seconded by...
Who's pharmacy student?
Last report, School of Science Representatives.
Hi guys.
Let's do this.
So first of all, we had our SSLC year reps recruitment. There's actually a correction there. There's supposed to be 8 members. I mean, they changed it this week. And then year 1, we recruited 5, but now we have 3 left. So sad, but yeah. And then year 2, we have 4 reps. Year 3, we have 3 reps left now. No, 2. Yeah, 2. And then 1 honors. Yeah, 1 from honors. And then we have our subcommittee members recruitment. Yeah, the post chat from publicity. And then we had 20 interviewees and then we recruited 5 members.
So for the t-shirt design competition, usually we have it in semester 2, but in conjunction with School of Science 10th year anniversary, we're putting it to semester 1. We started the competition on 3rd of March, and basically the rules were like we have to submit AI or PSD format. But because we got very low participation rate, we had changed it to all formats, and then from there we'll just try to get our subcoms to work out and convert it back to AI or PSD. And then we have extended the deadline to 30th of March. And as usual, the most popular design, which will be the one with the most likes, will be our official School of Science shirt. And winner walk away at $200. $100 will be from the CMO, which is Aeon voucher, and then another 100 is from our budget. And moving on to the School of Business and Science Mingle Night, I just want to say thank you so much to the School of Business. Without you, we couldn't organize this. Also, thanks to Tush and VPs, because the minute I heard that the event closed down, I almost wanted to break down.
The numbers are very sad, but at least
it was fun, you know, they had fun. Yeah. So we postponed it to 12th of March, and then students were charged $5 of registration fee because business was charging 5. So it didn't make sense for us to have the exact same event but then give them free. So students were allowed to get full refund if they didn't attend, but with receipt presented as proof, and all in all, after calculation, we got about 160 ringgit revenue. So that's just about it. Yeah.
And it's a picture of the winner.
Is this the same picture as the?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
You wanna like shove your hand on his chest now?
Questions?
By the way, thanks for the book.
Sure, thank you. I got it covered.
I have a question. Last year, the t-shirt design was picked by the same way, by Facebook likes.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of complaints, including from you, Ethan, that the Facebook like wasn't really a proper representative of which the best design was. So do you intend on carrying it out despite the flaws, or do you plan on changing your voting methods, or I don't know?
Well, one way is to print the design out and ask the students. But
Oh, no.
Again, still, School of Science students don't care.
I know.
I was kind of triggered that Cactus Science thing almost won the best shirt last year. Right?
But Drop the Bass was nice.
Yeah, we will try to think of another way that's better than any way that's better than Facebook voting. Of course, Facebook is not like an official platform, and also not everyone is in a group. Some people just don't have Facebook accounts. But
we'll get back to you if we have progress on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion from our predecessors. They also had the same problem, so they decided to change it to Google Form to avoid privacy. So that's what we're thinking.
Voting through the Google form, is it?
You can show the picture, then ask students who wanted to see which design the most well.
Pharmacy did that as well?
How we did the voting.
We didn't upload the photos to Google Form because it compresses the size. So we just upload to Facebook, but the link, the Google Form is, the whole thing is moved by Google Form. Okay.
Alright, thank you.
Motion 15, acceptance of School of Science representatives report, accepted by.
Okay, you win.
Seconded by.
Krista.
Damn it!
Thanks, guys.
Can run motion for can we run a motion for Jay to not be so aggressive when it comes to voting?
I was being passive aggressive.
Okay, oh wait.
Yeah, I have something to say. I just remembered. Sorry. Once again, Musa departments are allowed to supersede club bookings, but when you're making a booking, yes, give us a week's notice. But also, please try to keep your venue bookings to a reasonable thing, because something happened. I think it was on admin's end, but they booked badminton court, the field. It was not Happy Birthday Monash, but they booked multiple venues, which meant we had to displace multiple clubs. So if you're making a booking, if you think you need like 4 different venues, but you're not sure what you're going to use them for, just try to minimize the venues you book, please. We have a lot of angry clubs coming at our tails. We really don't want them.
Oh, I have an announcement to make. Next week, Thursday, our department will be holding our first event that has nothing to do with orientation.
Thank God.
It's grow up. So we only open it to we open up about 100 slots. Registration will be next Monday. So yeah, first come first serve. It's free, but I think we're charging about 10 ringgit deposit. That's all. Come, there's a water balloon fight.
Like, judging from last year, it fills up in like one day.
The thing is, last year it filled up within 2 hours. The first day of registration.
Because they took a break, right?
Oh yeah. But yeah, come please.
Question:
Yeah.
Does editors have to pay for that deposit?
No, because you're working.
I'm not.
Then you should pay.
I give you the money back.
Okay, guys.
Perfect.
Wait, come lah. I give. Got ice cream for y'all.
Okay, wait, Mazin has something.
I don't know, I just want to say, what's the difference between this one and last year's? Because I remember the first meeting, Milton proposed
that's not.
Okay,
not happening.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. When Simon say come, does that mean we have to register?
That's a good question.
Please register so that I can provide enough food for you. Because if you come on the day itself and the food is sold out and I don't give you food lah. That's all. Just fill up the slots lah. there's the water balloon fight. We're planning to get more water balloons because the last time it like
Ran out in 30
so
seconds.
we plan on filling up more water balloons. I can't tell you the exact number because I don't want. But yeah, there's more. We plan on having more things, just more things.